If you listen and enjoy our show, we're in the middle of a fundraising drive. So if you could go to thebillshow.net, go and press the patron button, you can sponsor us. And that would help pay for stuff. Click the patron button. You'll be glad you did. You'll get a nice warm feeling down in the bottom of the cockles of your heart. And now, on with the show.
You say, hell yeah.
We're going to hold on to him by the nose, and we're going to kick him in the ass. We're going to kick the hell out of him all the time, and we're going to go through him like crap through a goose.
From the expat home of the resistance, it's the Bill Show. And now, brothers and sisters in solidarity, here's Bill and Randy. Hello, Randy.
Oh, William, happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, I don't think they appreciate. It's the one holiday that we have different down here than the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah,
they celebrate it there about a month after Mother's Day in June, whereas our Father's Day here is in the beginning of September.
It is in the beginning of September.
Which I think is interesting because my children are all born 9 months after Father's Day.
Wow.
In June.
Well, I got to say, I've had a happy Father's Day.
Have you?
I have been literally, Randy.
What?
Randy, let me tell you something. It's been a good week. It's been a good week.
How's that? What? I mean,
I don't know why. I don't know why. I could be almost wanting to break into song every time I walk out the door. Hi, Mr. Mailman. Hi, Bill. You know.
Are you living in Truman or something like that?
I am the Truman Show this week because you know what I watch and what I read has never been more entertaining.
Do you really think so?
Oh, yes.
I just got to work out the headline, Trump worried about leaking Pecker. Who's Pecker? I've seen that headline twice.
And you know,
and I'm thinking,
I told this.
What is that? What is that?
I told a story, and I was thinking that it was like, he was off my radar entirely. And when I found out about it earlier this week, I thought to myself, we just did a story with a Mr. Cock in it.
Mr. Cock, and now we have a leaking Pecker.
Now we got a leaking Pecker. So if you
Trump worries about leaking Pecker.
If you didn't think we weren't going to go for the Pecker jokes, well, you knew that was going to come.
Well, no, it's the sub-editors that write the headlines, and they're saying, we can't miss this. People would be disappointed if we missed this.
Oh, you're referring to a meme I saw the other day. I think that's probably a joke meme.
No, there's a guy named Pecker who is leaking
Yes,
something.
I know, but I don't think they actually had that on CNN. Trump's looking for a leaking Pecker. Anyway, it was a fantastic week. And how was your week, Randy? How are things up there? Are you okay?
Oh, up here?
Yeah.
It was minus 1 degree this morning.
Oh, shit.
Which in America is, I think, 31 or 30.
In Boston, that's spring.
Yeah, that's spring day in Boston, yeah.
It's like,
it was a frosty morning. There was actually frost. But it got up to like...
They come up to me. I've been here for, 30 years now? And you've been here for 40, maybe?
45,
35, whatever. And
45,
They come up to us, or they especially come up to me around this September, and they're sitting there, and they come up to me during these months, and they go, oh, it's cold. And I go, shut the fuck up. You have no idea in your head what cold is. You have no idea. I come from Boston. We call off school.
Snow days!
Snow days!
Snow
Yeah,
days!
man, I miss snow days. I always knew exactly the schools before my school.
And if they called those, I knew that it was going to be on the hillside sliding. Which gives you an idea exactly. I'm in such a good mood. I'm remembering things like that this show is going to.
I'm worried, Bill.
What?
Well, maybe you're on the you're on the slippery slope.
A slippery slope to happiness. That's possibly true.
On the other side of the hump.
Yeah, we're on the other side of that hump. Speaking of the hump, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to go straight into our little segment we do every fortnight or so. But we couldn't resist doing it this week. Here it is.
Oh my God, please help me knee deep in the river trying to get clean. He says wash your hands, get out the stains, but you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Yeah, you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Saying,
I'm going to bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's got to be biblical.
According to your reporting, everyone around the president, senior advisors, family members, every single one of them questions his intelligence and fitness for office.
Let me put a marker in the sand here. 100% of the people around him. The one description that everyone gave, everyone has in common. They all say he is like a child.
no matter what you do, you're gonna learn the truth.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and Randy too, it's been a fantastic week.
I'm not a lady or a gentleman. What was that all about?
You're a lady and a gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
I can do things. I can use that special toilet, and it's always clean.
Yeah, it always is. Listen, we're actually having a little party here in the Bill Show studios, so we've been drinking a lot. This last week has probably been the most eventful day and the worst fucking day that Donald Trump a week anyway, that he's seen in his goddamn life. Because
that's it.
He is beginning to remember. He's beginning to remind me of Wile E. Coyote, because a few anvils came falling down on his head. I recorded this earlier. This is a summation of all the shit. So I don't have to go through it, because assumingly we all know it. But here it is. This is all the shit that's happened, Randy, to Donald Trump.
All the anvils, all the
anvils,
painted tunnels,
every train,
all the rockets
for his ass.
Yeah. Cliffs, all the cliffs that fell down. Yeah, it's all there.
It's all there, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, and I don't know, Randy. It seems kind of like
you're having a Schadenfreude.
I am. Oh, I'm enjoying it a lot. And so it's kind of like
you are.
It's kind of like for me. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe this will do the trick.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look in the 5 and 10.
There's good reason why it's being called the worst week yet for President Trump. Let's remember just for a moment that on Monday we had just learned White House counsel Don McGahn had been talking to the Mueller team for more than 30 hours of interviews. Tuesday, Trump's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, found guilty 8 of 18 criminal charges. Within that same hour, Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, pleading guilty to charges, including what he said were hush money payments made at the president's direction. On Wednesday, Trump insisted he found out about the hush money payment later on. But the problem with that is AP reporter Catherine Lucy asked Trump about the payment back in April while cameras were rolling in the back of Air Force One, and we got to hear her question and, more importantly, his answer.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Then why did Michael Cohen make it if there was no truth or allegation?
You'll have to ask Michael Cohen. Yesterday, word that longtime Trump friend and National Enquirer publisher David Pecker had been granted immunity for information about Michael Cohen. We also learned the Manhattan DA's office is considering pursuing criminal charges against the Trump organization in connection with the hush money payments. And then today, we learned the Trump organization's CFO was granted immunity as well.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
That was written by Meredith Willson.
It was, and it is. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Now, first I wanted to talk a little bit about the guy we didn't see coming, and that's because we'd never mentioned him on the show, and you know him as David Pecker.
Yeah, the leaking Pecker.
The leaking Pecker. Evidently, David Pecker, chief executive of the company that publishes the National Enquirer, the tabloid magazine involved.
Oh, what supermarket checkout would be complete without the National Enquirer?
Without an alien baby ate my house pets.
And shared it with Elvis.
It's really, seriously. But listen, if you want to communicate to the Borg, whoa, that's up their alley, man. That's up their alley. The tabloid magazine involved in hush money deals with women ahead of the 2016 election, which, by the way, Donald admitted to knowing about on Fox.
Sure.
But it wasn't campaign money. It was from another. It was from another pile. It was another pile.
Yeah, I paid it back. I paid it back. Yeah.
Psst, Donald, that's illegal. Okay. President was granted immunity from federal prosecutors as part of an investigation into Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, the flipped Michael Cohen. So,
poor Michael. Yeah.
My favorite part of this is not only does the guy who's been paying off for the last 10 years been paying off all the people to keep quiet about all the terrible fucking shit that Donald Trump has done in his worthless, shallow fucking life.
Has to get paid off himself.
Now has obviously said, I can tell you some stuff. Give me immunity. Because they don't give immunity unless you got lots of shit. And
he's got lots of shit.
And ladies and gentlemen, can I have a little of the Mission Impossible music? Please.
Yeah.
Because I read this story and I
light that
match. You remember that? That part of Mission Impossible 1 where Tom Cruise is suspended by wires and he's trying to open a safe.
Just open something. Yeah.
Well, I'm expecting in the next month or so that Donald Trump himself will be suspended by wires. A big, fat, dumpy, elderly asshole sitting there suspended by wires. I want to open this safe. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the Pecker has a safe.
Yeah, and nobody can get into the Pecker safe.
There's a safe. I kid you. There were tapes, and now there is a safe. And I'm not kidding. It's not like a fictional safe. It's like one of those safes.
No, it's a real safe.
It's a real safe. You know, the kind that lands on Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll do a 1-hour documentary on let's open Al Capone's safe.
Hey, guys.
Let's open it. And when they do it, there's nothing in it.
All right, listen. I forget. What is that sound when a safe lands on somebody? Give me that sound, please. Yes.
Splat.
Yeah, I wonder if Pecker has an Acme safe. Anyway.
They're all Acme safes and Acme rockets, yeah.
Well, prosecutors continue that Pecker, I fucking love this. AMI.
You love saying that word,
You can't write
don't you?
this shit. The guy last week's name was Cock. This one's name is Pecker. AMI's CEO helped deal with negative stories about Donald's relationships with women by, among other things, assisting the campaign in identifying such stories so they could be purchased and their publication avoided. On Thursday, the Associated Press reported that, according to people familiar with the agreement, the National Enquirer kept a safe. of documents related to hush money and other damaging stories it killed as part of its cozy relationship with Donald Trump.
It must be a bloody big safe. That's all I've got to say.
It's a huge safe. Oh, man.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Everywhere you go. Oh, my God. It could be a safe full of shit. And on top of that...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Trump is afraid.
Well, no, he should be afraid because over here you have the fact that all the sleazy shit that he did. And by the way, let's think about the sleazy shit that he really did because we've been here a long time reporting on this. You remember the Jane Doe right before the election that sued Trump for child rape? You remember her?
Yeah, she was 14.
Yeah, as most everyone now knows, Trump has called these dozens or so accusers liars. This is from the Rolling Stone magazine, right about the time. Yeah. But what our voters don't know, because most mainstream media have not informed them, is that one woman is currently suing, this is at the time, Donald Trump for allegedly raping her when she was 13. The case... this is back before the election. The case is scheduled for initial hearing, Manhattan Federal Court, December 16th. Jane Doe, now 35, alleges that Trump and notorious convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused her at 4 of Epstein's parties at his Upper East Side mansion in 1994. At the 4th party and last party she attended, she alleges Trump raped her. In her complaint, she claims to have a witness to the rape, Tiffany Doe, who recruited young women to the parties with promises of money for a modeling career. Evidently, Trump told her that if she ever revealed what happened, plaintiff and her family would be physically harmed, if not killed. I have been listening. I have remembered
whichever comes first.
I have remembered this little shitbag. Do I believe it? Oh yeah, I really do fucking believe it because she fell off the face of the planet. I personally hope that there's something in that safe about this. Whether she got money or what has happened to her, no one knows. And if we can find something in the safe about that, that would make me very, very happy. I want to go forward with one thing about Alan Weisselberg. Do you remember Alan Weisselberg?
Of course.
Remember Alan? Alan is the business guy that we talked about in the last episode. Well, the episode before last. We sat there and said he had been subpoenaed to talk. Well, evidently, Alan... the guy who actually knows everything about Trump's businesses, every fucking dollar, since when Fred Trump owned the place in the 80s, longtime chief financial officer for the Trump Organization, has been granted immunity by federal prosecutors.
So he can sing.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Can they prosecute Fred from beyond the grave?
Possibly. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, they do like they did with Cromwell and dig him up and cut off his head and put it on a spike. Yeah, I hope so.
Listen, during this entire thing, President Donny has been, and half the joy of this entire last week has been watching him flounder, watching him sit there. This is a cut from his interview that he had with Fox News.
Fox and Friends, that's
Fox
right. His favorite go-to show.
His favorite go-to show in the morning. And he started babbling, and I remember the Fox segment I played for you.
The 1 hour.
The 1 hour rant.
And on. Yeah.
That, and if you encountered somebody like that on public transportation, you would ignore them. So it was no surprise that when Donny had a absurd meltdown that it would come at Fox. Here it is, just for your entertainment. God knows it entertains me.
I understood Michael Cohen very well. I always found him to be a nice guy. Those 2 counts aren't even a crime. They weren't campaign finance.
Did you know about the payments?
Later on, I knew. Did they come out of the campaign? They didn't come out of the campaign. They came from me, and I tweeted about it. I don't know if you know, but I tweeted about the payments. And one of the reasons I respect Paul Manafort so much is he went through that trial. They make up stories. People make up stories. This whole thing about flipping, they call it. I know all about flipping. For 30, 40 years, I've been watching flippers. Everything's wonderful, and then they get 10 years in jail, and they flip on whoever the next highest one is, or as high as you can go. I don't know how you can impeach somebody who's done a great job. I'll tell you what, if I ever got impeached, I think the market would crash. I think everybody would be very poor. Because without this thinking, you would see numbers that you wouldn't believe. Well, it's part of my life. I guess my whole life has been this way. Somebody said, "Oh, gee, this is always such controversy," and I don't know. I've always had controversy in my life. I give myself an A+. I don't think any president has ever done what I've done in this short. We haven't even been 2 years. The only thing I'm doing badly in is the press doesn't cover me fairly. I would honestly give myself an A+, and so would many other people.
An A+.
I'd give myself an A+. What an idiot! If I'm impeached, the stock market will crash. I was reading that said if he was impeached, the stock market would shoot up.
Yeah. It's not all about you, Donny.
I'm sorry, that's really bad. Was he high on something? Was he snorting coke?
I think, well, Omarosa said he's a coke addict, and I told you that during the election. I was like, snorting every 2 seconds. But yes, it's. I like the point in which during the interview he says, "Let me tell you something. You'd all be poor if it wasn't for the thinking." And then he points to his head. Yeah. If it wasn't for this, yes, you're Wile E. Coyote, super
I'm sorry,
genius.
Bill. That's just so.
Thank God we have you. That high IQ of Donny Trump.
I'd honestly give myself an A+, and so would many other people. Fuck.
Donald Trump, super genius.
Oh no, Paul Lynn. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Oh, you think so, do you?
It's Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson.
Donald Trump has called himself a super genius.
Oh, that's Howard Cosell.
That's my Howard Cosell.
Hello,
no one knows
Howard.
who Howard Cosell is. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was some serious fucking shit. And you know something? He believes that.
Yeah.
He actually believes that. He lives in this world. That's why this is the beginning of the end. But
sure
this ain't
is.
the end yet, because the last show I sat there and said, "Listen, man, if you think that he's going away nice, he's not. He's not." One of the guys over, I was watching an interview. I don't know. I was the many I'd watched, and one person said that this guy is depraved and would sacrifice his children before him.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
He's a sociopath. Yes.
I can see him sacrificing his wife and kids. What happened to the boy?
Yes, that's right.
I haven't seen Barron for months.
All right. Is Robert Mueller there? I would like to offer perfectly good blonde. Her name is Tiffany. I think I know she hasn't done something, but we'll make up something.
But Tiff is the smart one.
Yeah, Tiffany is the smart one. Do you notice that Tiffany Trump, she was at the convention, but she's nowhere near this hootenanny? Not a peep. We don't see her. That's it. She keeps her mouth shut. She's so smart.
Hey, Daddy,
anyway.
Is Stormy going to be my new mommy?
It's like if he had a small child, if Trump had a small child like a baby, Could you imagine saying the new mommy is Stormy Daniels?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to feed the world.
I know it would be Stormy Daniels. The baby would have like stretch marks going back to its ears.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not knocking you, Stormy. You're my kind of babe.
Not knocking knockers. That's, yeah.
No, that's right. Anyway, listen, there's really nothing else to say. It's all been said. But what we can probably look for in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, what?
Is what do you think? I think he's going to go after. He has to either pardon Manafort.
He can't.
Well, I think he can. He could fire Sessions tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
But you're going to get to the point in which he's going to have to do something dicey. He's going to have to do something. This whole preparation time of undermining Mueller is starting to wear off. You got poll that came out from Politico the other day showed the nation evenly split on the idea of impeachment, with like 20% saying I don't know. So it was like 41% people. The other people weren't sure. So this narrative that he's been trying to write for the longest time about it's all a hoax, there's fake news, just nah, it's not happening because now the stuff is getting real. Now the stuff, you can't dismiss a probe that literally has people either claiming immunity or going to jail. Yeah. And so now we're getting to the absolute cut and thrust. Are the Republicans going to stay with him?
Are they? Could they?
Well, if they feel that they can get out of the midterms. But if they feel, that the midterms are going to be disaster, which I think they are.
Yeah.
My ballot came the other day, by the way, for the next election.
Yeah.
So, we got to vote, man. We got to vote. And remember, Ruski is still very operating right now.
Oh yeah.
And they've turned it up. But I noticed something the other day. I saw this story that they're also being accused of attacking conservatives. Be interesting to find out which conservatives. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Vlad is going to do.
And John McCain has decided to stop treatment, so we won't have him.
Listen,
for a while.
man, I in a time of Trump, I've said a lot of very disagreeable things about John McCain.
Yeah.
And I thought that his decision to put Sarah Palin on the ballot was almost unforgivable because that's just madness. But I'll tell you something. When Trump went after him,
I don't like losers, and people who get captured are losers.
Yeah. This fucking asshole. I mean, this guy actually. Look, he refused to go home till his friends went home. And now he's dying of brain cancer.
Hanoi Hilton, yeah.
And the last thing he will be remembered for is that thumbs down he gave in that Senate vote. And I think that it will be... The Republican Party doesn't have many of those people left.
Nope.
That they can point to as having any honor at all. So, excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
Nothing to say. I sneezed on air. That's terrible. I'm going to have to take that.
As long as you didn't sneeze on the mic, yeah.
I didn't. I'm allergic to everything now. I have no idea. Listen, we're going to be back in a moment.
It is hay fever season. Are you allergic to wattle? Because,
it's the wattle.
Yeah,
it's the wattle.
Everywhere.
The wattle has just bloomed here. It has just bloomed here, so it's going to get pretty, but it's going to be. Anyway, listen, we'll be back with you in just a minute. We get some Randy Rainbow.
We got some great comedy, yeah.
Randy's Rant coming at you.
Okay.
For show 218.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
You've gotten to know him pretty well. What characteristic stands out in your mind?
I would say it's humility.
I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second.
I went to better schools than they did. I was a better student than they were.
I have a very good brain.
I live in a bigger, more beautiful apartment, and I live in the White House, too, which is really great. I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
There's a great deal of humility that attaches to that.
I own actually one of the largest wineries in the United States. It's in Charlottesville. I know the H-1B. I know the H-2B. Nobody knows it better than me. I'm very highly educated. I know words. I have the best words. We won Florida. We won South Carolina. We won North Carolina. We won Pennsylvania. We won, and that map was so red, it was unbelievable.
With the gravity and responsibility of being President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief of our armed forces, sir, I would say with that gravity and responsibility has come a great deal of humility.
I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. I tell you that. Trump steaks are by far the best tasting, most flavorful beef you've ever had. With the exception of the late, great Abraham Lincoln, I can be more presidential than any president that's ever held this office. That I can tell you. I know the system better than anybody else, and I'm the only one up here that's going to be able to fix that system.
You're not known to be a humble man, but I wonder.
I think I am actually humble. I think I'm much more humble than you would understand.
And there's no way to really be behind me in that building every single day and make decisions that are so weighty and consequential for so many millions of people without feeling a great deal of humility.
If you like your steak, you'll absolutely love Trump steaks.
You know, I'm not even back inside the house yet, and I'm doing a shut the fuck up right now, okay? Look, I just went by a post where somebody said, how can we keep a president who hates everything America stands for? Can we just back up a fucking second here? What is it that America stands for? Can someone help me with that? Because I seem to be missing that entirely. This is what I see America standing for, okay? You know, people who live that dream that we're a force for good, those people are delusional. They need some serious intervention, mental health help, medication. Maybe they need to smoke marijuana every day to get a grip on reality. I don't really know. But what America has stood for, we started with annihilating 100 million Native Americans to take over this land. That's what America stands for. We now know that Pearl Harbor was a setup so we could get into the war. We now know that 9/11 was an inside job so we could build an appetite for never-ending war on terror. We support Israel, a terrorist state who is literally committing genocide in Gaza. We support the proxy war on Yemen, where we are killing innocent women and children and causing disease like cholera at rapid paces. I don't understand what the fuck people think we are in this country, but people better shut the fuck up and wake the fuck up pretty soon, because we are not what everybody says we are. We are not the big flag waving. Everybody is loved. Everybody has a shot in America. No one's got a shot in America anymore, idiot. No one. The only people that have a shot in America are the people making 6 to 7 figures. I don't think that's you. I definitely know it's not fucking me. So please, shut the fuck up with the let's not keep a president who hates what America stands for. What the fuck do we stand for? We were willing to sacrifice 3,000 of our own people so we could go to war. Give me a break, people. Let's get a clue now. It's time to stop sleeping. It's time to stop walking in the fucking daisies and wake up and smell the goddamn shit that's piling up in your corner. Wake up.
And now it's time to keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, because it's time again for Randy's Rant.
Let's all gather round.
Oh, Randy.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. Match that lady's rant.
I know. I felt his.
Shut the fuck up! What the fuck are you talking about? And you pegged her within two, three things. Syllables.
I was sitting there going, "Oh, wait a minute, that's my childhood." Boston.
Yeah. She's from South
Sappy,
Boston,
man.
Yeah.
She's wicked smart. wicked smart. He's wicked smart with the 9/11 theory. But if you've ever heard someone from Southie go off full, just turn it into any Matt Damon movie or any of those, Good Will Hunting. Same thing. Yeah, it brought back tears to my eyes.
Yeah, I thought you'd like
the sound of voices that usually occurred before I was beaten up. Actually. Yeah. You're wicked fat. Anyway. Okay, great, good.
Shut the fuck up.
And who can argue with that?
Nobody.
Yeah.
And she's sitting here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm ranting. Right. No, I'm not actually. I'm doing the concluding chapter of my 10 things that Americans do that piss everybody off.
Our third week
in the
antagonizing every listener that we have in America.
It's America's way or the highway. Somebody today said, "Why don't Australians call Sprite?
Yeah.
Why do they call it lemonade? It's not lemonade. Yeah. No, Americans call lemonade lemon squash or lemon juice. They call that lemonade. Yeah. And we call Sprite or 7-Up or all those things lemonade.
Yeah, which is wrong.
And which is what the whole world calls it.
You remember you were growing up and you had frozen concentrated orange juice and frozen concentrated lemonade and all that. You can't get that in Australia. I don't know why.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You can get
lemons.
Pink, you can get pink. Yeah.
You get actual lemons and things, and you make it from scratch.
Anyway, I thought that's not being very flexible or very understanding that the rest of the world has actually calls something different, but that doesn't make them wrong.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, here's my concluding chapter in my trilogy of 10 things that Americans do that absolutely completely flummox the rest of the world. And it certainly does, Ollie.
What you do to flummox us in the rest of the world. Okay, Randy, is this the last one? Is this the last insulting our audience we're going to do? Okay, great.
And we're not insulting them. We're just saying, just be a big. It's not your way or the highway. Okay. You've got to appreciate that the rest of the world has a different idea from you.
All right. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You suck. So here it is.
Oh, Bill, stop
it! Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Randy's rant for 218.
Number 4.
Dining out. Tipping your server and taking home leftover food. 2 habits that are so ingrained in the American dining experience that they can be hard to kick. But rest assured, if you try to do these things outside of the U.S., you are sure to draw confused looks and reveal your stars and stripes. In most Asian and European countries, a service charge is either already included in your bill or it is not customary to leave a tip. In many places, if you do try to tip, you can offend your waiter. This is because a tip can be seen as a person having pity on their server or offering some sort of charity. In some countries, giving good service is expected, whereas in the United States, the food industry has become sort of a meritocracy, governed by the consumer. Foreigners see this as absurd. Why should a server be rewarded for doing something they should be doing in the first place? However, in places where tipping is insulting, waitstaff aren't ridiculously underpaid, like they are in the US. The other habit that can draw the scoffs of onlookers at a restaurant outside the United States is asking for a doggy bag or to-go box. In many countries, especially European ones, the idea of saving a hot meal at a restaurant in order to reheat it and eat it at home is a disgusting prospect. Many dining cultures believe that the food is meant to be eaten exactly how it is prepared by the chef, at that moment, not to be consumed after various sauces and meat juices congeal, or to have their perfect grilling and baking sullied by your microwave. A lot of the reason that Americans have developed this custom of bringing scraps home with them is due to portion sizes being generally much larger in the States than elsewhere. This may be a result of capitalist consumers becoming obsessed with getting their money's worth, causing restaurants to try and one-up each other, battling to stuff people's gullets.
Number 3.
Beverage customs. If you are an American and traveling overseas, don't expect to receive ice in your beverages. And if you are brazen enough to ask for some ice, be prepared for the, "Oh, you must be American" look. It is very uncommon for drinks to be served with ice anywhere in the world other than the United States, and you'll be lucky to find a restaurant that can even provide it upon request. The practice of putting drinks on ice was started in the United States and never really caught on elsewhere, as many foreigners feel like it is a waste of space that will only result in your drink being watered down. When most Europeans dine out, they tend to drink their beverages much slower and enjoy them, whereas Americans often drink several beverages during a meal, or drink them on the go. This is also one of the reasons that the American practice of free refills is confounding to foreigners. American tourists going out of the country should not expect this hospitality, and be prepared to pay full price for every beverage they consume. The common American ritual of ordering a coffee to go is also one that confuses outsiders. In other parts of the world, coffee is usually only enjoyed when a person is stationary, in their house, or at a restaurant. And in many countries, you'll be hard-pressed to find so much as a disposable coffee cup, let alone a drive-through Dunkin' Donuts.
Number 2.
Alcohol laws. One of the things that confuses foreigners the most about Americans is our country's drinking age. Many countries have drinking ages, but to them, the idea of waiting until you are 21 is a bit extreme, especially when a person can be drafted into the military at age 18. Over half of the nations in the world allow young adults to purchase alcohol once they reach 18 or 19, whereas the most extreme drinking ages, where alcohol isn't altogether prohibited, can be found in India, where depending on where you go, the age restriction can be as high as 30. Most countries in mainland Europe have their drinking ages set at 16 or 17. In Germany, a country long rumored to have no drinking age at all, the age limit for beer and wine is 16, while you must be 18 in order to buy liquor. In Southeast Asia, as well as China, there is no set drinking age at all.
Number 1.
High school graduations. Americans have a habit of making an excuse to celebrate anything, and are known throughout the world for taking mundane events and pushing them to the extreme. This might be because Americans don't get enough paid vacation or holidays, but the point is, you'd be hard-pressed to find traditions like prom or homecoming anywhere outside the US. Outsiders see how lavish and complex some of the pomp and circumstance surrounding these seemingly meaningless celebrations are, and are confused as to what the hoopla is all about. One of the biggest events that Americans have overblown is high school graduation, a truly American celebration. In most other countries, graduating from high school is seen as one of life's important stepping stones, but it isn't treated like it is in America, where it is almost on par with a wedding or the birth of a baby. In fact, countries like England don't have ceremonies at all for high school graduation. Most students just hope they get good grades on their exams, get into a good university, and carry on with their lives, waiting to celebrate once they have an actual degree.
Oh, no graduation, Randy.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely right. I mean, they make such a big deal about it.
Oh, you know, I liked high school graduation. I had a great time at my prom.
Yeah, but we're septic tanks. We're septic tanks.
No, the kids over there, I'll tell you, the kids that I know at high school age, they look at the American proms and go, hey, that's fun. And
that's because they see it in movies. They want to live They want to live in Greece, like
not the country,
Greece,
but
No, the movie Greece,
where John lives. With John Travolta and Didi Khan.
You're the one that I like.
You're the one that I like.
Excuse me.
The most uninspiring song of love. You're the one that I like.
Getting a doggy box or a take-home box. When you order was the thing that threw me. When we went out for breakfast, the waitress would come and she'd bring these polystyrene boxes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to play the American
When we
here.
gave our order, like assuming we're not going to be able to finish what she brings.
Well, that's it, because you get an order the size of, Nicaragua. It is true, but I'll tell you something. I'll put up my American Stars and Stripes here. I paid for the fucking food, okay? That's my food. If I want to take it home and put it in a microwave, and your chef has a philosophical problem with me taking my food home and eating it the way I want, get fucked.
Well, just get takeaway then in the first place.
No. Don't snob me out of this. All right,
I'm going to snob you out of this because
I have a right to.
Bill,
I paid
you're
for
full
the
of
food,
shit.
man. I put the American Express down, the $300
Oh, God, you don't use Amex, do you?
No, I don't. It doesn't matter.
No,
I'm making
of course
a point.
you don't.
I'm making a point.
You don't.
I'm making a point. It's completely irrelevant to the point that if I have my food and I want to take it home and feed it to my pet hamster or my pet lizard or ferret or whatever I have at home, or maybe just me, that's my deal. God
it
damn
just
it.
Shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen.
God
Anyway, okay, here's another friend of yours.
What?
Here's another friend of yours.
Yes. Oh, you're going forward. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You have a tinfoil hat
Pastors-
for us, or I mean, a
No.
religious nut job of the week.
I have a religious nut job of this century, I think.
Okay.
And considering it's only 8 years old, that's 18 years old. That's quite a saying. This is Pastor Steven Anderson of Bumfuck, Arizona, whatever it's called. And this
We've had
guy,
him before.
I know, he loses his nut.
Again?
I'm sorry, but Pastor Steven Anderson.
He kind of does this on a weekly basis, evidently.
No. This one, he actually gets up on his altar or his pulpit and jumps up and down.
Oh, good.
And the ceiling is very low, and he almost hits his head. Anyway, this is actually an evangelical going nasty on people's ass, and it's really quite embarrassing.
Oh, good. Well, that would be perfect for our show. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, our religious nut job of the week for show 218.
Side. Let me tell you something. There is a full-out war going on this subject right now. The bunch of filthy sodomite perverts, and if you don't like it, get out of here. They're at war with us tonight. That's right. And you know what? If you're fearful and afraid and you don't want to stand up for the truth, just get out of here, because I'm sick of looking at your cowardly face.
Yeah, amen.
Not going to put up with it. Let me tell you something. It's war. You know what the filthy sodomites have done toward our church and us and our friends and our fellow pastors that actually have the guts to say what needs to be said? Here's what they've done in the last few weeks. They got our PayPal account shut down so that we can't take any more online donations. We set up with another company, GiveLet. They got that shut down. QGive, they got that shut down. BitPay, they got that shut down. They shut down our iTunes podcast. They shut down Brother Jimenez's PayPal account. They shut down Brother Romero's PayPal account. They shut down Paul Wittenberger's store where he sells all of his films and everything. His livelihood, that's his job. I mean, that's how he makes his money. They shut down his Framing the World store off Big Cartel. I mean, the landlord of Pastor Jimenez is saying, hey, we're not going to renew your lease. I mean, these people are dedicated. These people are researching. They're finding out, where we bank. They're finding out who we do business with. They're trying to get us shut down on all fronts. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm sick of it, and I'm not going to back down. And I'm sick of people not backing me up on this. And you know what? If you're not going to back us up, then get out of here. We don't need your help. You know what? We have hundreds of people here that will not compromise. And if you're not one of them, then get out. I don't want to hang around with a bunch of fag hags and a bunch of queer baits and a bunch of effeminates. Get out. Look, no one in a million years would have thought when I was a child that our country would ever accept this stuff amongst Christians. You are insane. You think I'm preaching too hard. You have lost your mind. And if you ever say the word LGBT community to me, you might as well just walk up to me and just say, you know what? I'm a brainwashed idiot. I don't read the Bible. I don't love God. I'm just a brainwashed fool that has my mind filled with TV, Hollywood, and can't think for myself. LGBT. They're sodomites. They're dogs. That's what the Bible calls them. Dogs. Dogs.
Yeah, Stephen, a bit of a dog whistle there, Stephen. Hey, Stephen, I noticed that Stephen gets really pissed off when you taper off his money supply.
Yeah, you organize again. These people are organized. Why? They do their research. They know how to come and get our money.
Let me make money off of you stupid assholes who send it to me. You know what the sad thing is that I'm listening to this fruitcake, right? And I guarantee you, Stephen, you're doing better than we are. We probably don't make money like you do. I can't remember the last PayPal account that actually gave me any money. So, Stephen, shove it up your ass. You may enjoy it.
Don't say that. No. You may actually enjoy that.
Jesus Christ, I never knew I'd like it. Stephen. Don't worry, you could get an honest job.
It's just shocking. I mean,
it's always money.
These people are organized. They do their research. How could they possibly come and hurt us this way?
I don't know, Stephen.
We're the victim. We're the victim here.
Interesting thing is that these guys are after him probably for fraud. There's a possibility that maybe the reason they shut down your accounts is something to do with your money.
No, I think they just shut down your accounts is because these people do know how to use social media and
it's
know
hate
how
speech.
to use the
It's
law.
hate speech. This is a guy who gets on the because we've had Stephen on before. I don't know why.
Yeah. I want you to go down and I want you to shoot Barack Obama when he comes to town.
And who would have thought that if you advocate killing people because of their sexual preference, that anyone would find that objectionable, Stephen? I don't know. I don't know. But then again.
Anyway, he was the religious. He was like every nut in the fruitcake religious.
He was.
He was pretty bad.
He was. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back with our tinfoil hat for 218. Yeah.
After our favorite Randy, apart
Randy
from me.
Rainbow?
Randy Rainbow.
We love Randy Rainbow here at the Bill Show. We'll be back with you after this short break.
Welcome back. We are joined now by a woman who scares the living shit out of me, former White House aide, reality TV villain, and author of the new book Unhinged, Omarosa Manigault Newman. Omarosa, what a pleasure it is to have you here.
I'm just not buying that.
Well, you got me there. You have been on a media blitz promoting your book and dropping secret recordings that you made during your time in the White House.
This is just the beginning of the type of corruption that's going on in Trump world, and I am here to blow.
Excuse me. I'll do the blowing around here. Now, you've brought with you today a new recording. This is an exclusive, so let's go ahead and have a listen. We warn you that what you're about to hear is extremely stupid.
Hey, lowlife, it's me. Listen, I had no idea they were going to fire you after I told them to. I'm absolutely sick about it. Don't love it at all, but what I really wouldn't love is you flapping your yap all over town about all the crazy shit I say and do. So listen, I'd like to offer you $15,000 a month to shut the hell up and occasionally pick up my dry cleaning. Cool? Thanks, dog.
Okay. What the hell was that?
I saw this as an attempt to buy my silence, to censor me, and to pay me off $15,000 per month.
You say that there are more tapes, even video. You also allege that there is recorded evidence of the president using horrific racial slurs.
Absolutely.
How do you respond, Omarosa, to the questions about your own credibility?
I have been able to verify every single thing that I put in the book, and every single time the Trump people challenge me, I bring the receipts.
We've never paid attention to a word you've said. All that pompous, highfalutin gobbledygook. Thought when you got fired your career was dead. Now you're peddling a goddamn book. A brand new book. And guess who's really shook? He says that you're a fraud, which is ironic cause he made ya. You say that they hushed you with donations that they paid ya. I think that we may have hit an all-time low. Now our precious country's a reality show. Though you're just a thirsty-ass publicity whore. Could you be the hero we've been waiting for?
I am not going anywhere. Donald Trump has met his match.
Oh, Marosa, you're the worst, but damn, I'm glad you came. Will your sour grapes and secret tapes finally kick his ass at his own game?
It's the art of the deal.
Marosa, you're a mess, but I'm not mad you're here. If you crush this clown, I'll clean your crown when they make you Woman of the Year. We know that you're ratchet and mean, but we're ready to make you our queen. Yes, queen, and when we say, fine, we'll buy your book today. We only hope that you'll play your tapes, Omarosa, Omarosa, press play.
If I need to, I'll do what I have to do to protect myself.
Oh, Marosa, God, you suck, but go and make that coin. Make that money, honey. Open up a secret club for your fans, and maybe I will join. I said maybe, oh, my God, I hate you, oh, Marosa Manigault. You're a monster, but your ass I'll kiss, cause now he's pissing his pants and saying, Oi, go vault. He isn't Jewish, but okay. Though you might be a fraud, every night still I pray to the Lord. That if you heard him saying the N-word, you taped it and that you'll play the tape, Omarosa, Omarosa, that's O-M-A-R-O-S-A.
Believe me, my tapes are much better than theirs. Donald Trump has met his match. I am not going anywhere. This is just the beginning.
Randy Rainbow is a total loser. Believe me.
Hello, it's tinfoil hat time, ladies and gentlemen.
It certainly is. I think that what I just told you off Mike,
that was I didn't know that.
Tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the audience.
Our new prime minister, just invited Donald Trump to come and visit Australia.
Yeah. Well, that's where they send convicts. Yeah, I might get used to that, Donny. I don't know.
Well, our new prime minister is Pentecostal.
Our new prime minister is a tool, an absolute tool. And the reason this is happening is because the conservative government that we've had in here for a couple of years, and we don't like. Well, the polls have shown that people don't like him, so they eliminated a leader and they got some other guy.
Yeah,
who's even more conservative than the first guy. So, but even our conservatives, see, this is it. Even our conservatives won't touch Medicare. They won't touch it.
Yeah.
They want to, but they don't because they know they'll die. It's called people power, people.
Democracy. It's
a democracy. Absolutely.
Yeah, go look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
People power. Power
of the people. Have you ever heard, changing the subject entirely,
yes.
Randy, have you ever heard of an evangelist named Hank Kunneman?
Hank Kunneman. No, I haven't. I would have remembered that.
Well, Hank kind of popped up on my radar this week because Hank is speaking for the silent, unbathed majority. And Hank, first of all, it's a guy named Hank, which I love. Hank said to his followers, he's an evangelist, that he'd been talking to God. And if God's going to talk to somebody, how about talking to a guy named Hank? So,
does he talk back?
Yeah, no, evidently it was a whole conversation.
Oh, it's a two-way conversation.
It was a whole conversation he had with the big guy, man.
Wow.
The big guy, God, is obviously drunk dialing around 1 o'clock in the morning. Is Hank there? Yeah, it's God.
Does he speak English? Oh.
Do you like me? And so Hank had this conversation with God about Donald Trump. So evidently, what God said to Hank,
I
love this, is that, it'll be all right. Don't worry, it's a work in progress. That Donald Trump is still my chosen one. Hey, he's not perfect, But don't worry, it's going to be fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, the dulcet tones of Hank Kunneman reassuring you that, hey, the big guy's got Donald's back. Here it is on our tinfoil hat for 218, Randy.
If President Trump, God spoke to me about him. I said, tell me about him. He said, Hank, he's a work in progress. I said, what do you mean? He said, he's working at some things that you know not of, and some is none of your business. And he's progressing. I said, he's progressing. He said, that's right. I know the heart. You don't. God is trying to put things in order. And can I tell you something? This you may not like. I cried out to God. I said, God, how long is this going to last? He said, it's going to last through the rest of this term. And then you'll see in 2020, things will begin to shift. Things will begin to change. And he said, as David was a man of war, so there are certain things that is on this president that I'm requiring. I'm not saying he's a man after God's heart. I'm not saying that. It's between him and God. But I'm saying David was a man of war, and David was always at war. This president has been called and appointed by God, whether you like it, whether you agree with it, to be at war with some of these cultural things, like it's okay to have man with man, woman with woman. It's okay, they say, to push God out of our schools. You forgot what we almost got elected in this land. And I'm going to say it for the record, whether you like it or not. You don't have to come here. You don't ever have to listen to me again. You can turn me off right now. If we would have had the woman who was running for president, she's on record on what her thought was, what her agenda was concerning you and I called the church. She's on record on what she thinks about abortion. It would have continued, and it would have gotten a lot more gruesome and worse. And she would have allowed your tax money to fund it. She's on record. Go look it up. So you better be grateful for the fact that whether you like him, agree with, I don't agree with everything, but we've got someone who is a friend of the church. And a friend of Israel. And that, my friend, is huge.
Yeah, you tell him, Hank. It's a work in progress.
I'm sorry. I am just, I nearly lost my dinner. I'm sorry. That was terrible.
Hey, you know when Hank gets really upset? When God suspends his PayPal. That's when Hank gets really upset. But you know, one of the things I loved in that cut was the musical accompaniment.
But all the things that he was saying that Hillary was for are all still there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's literally it's astounding, and you're going to wonder how long is it going to take for these people, and of course they'll never stop, and that's what the war is going to be. And there is going to be a war. He talked about it being a war. Yes, there is. Because these guys, when you have a base of completely deranged lunatics, like these guys, who talk to God, and God evidently follows midterms, and what the fuck are you talking about?
Joseph Smith spoke to God through his hat.
Oh, as you do. As you do. Yeah. So, these people are not going to be...
You're just talking through your hat. That's where that expression
I'll tell you, these guys are going to go nuts, and Trump's going to completely egg them on. Yeah, I'm serious, man. This does not end...
Take to the streets. Huh? Take to the streets. Come on, save me, save me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just... when these people who are totally deranged get disappointed, or literally refuse to accept the fact that their Messiah is a low-rent con guy, a tent show freak. They all have AR-15s.
A grifter.
You got conned by the guy from Trump University. Seriously,
from Trump Steaks.
By Trump Steaks. That's how you got it.
And Trump Airlines.
And when these guys finally realize it, first of all, they'll never realize it because they can't divorce it from it. Because if they let go of it, it shakes their entire belief system. So literally, you have a programmed bunch of about 30% of the American population, probably with guns, who are delusional.
They certainly
Fucking
are,
do
Ollie.
the math, man. Honestly, it's going to be hard. Anyway, that's a nice uplifting note. All in all, though, it's been a good week.
What a great show,
It's
Bill.
a good week. It's been a good week, Randy. And
yeah, great show. Yeah, and what are you going to end it with? Another Bobby Sherman song?
oh no, you guessed
If
it.
you do, I'll quit.
Are you
I'll fucking
threatening to quit if I play Bobby Sherman?
Or Bruce Springsteen. I'm sorry.
Oh, damn. All right, I'm going to have to think of somebody else. Okay.
Well, don't tell me. Just play it after our song.
Okay, I got one.
Oh, no! Willie, you know I'd never leave your side.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen.
The dulcet tones of Bobby Sherman falling off a building.
I've got something better for it. From 1974, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Goldsboro and Honey. Now, my favorite joke about this song is that there's a lyric, and it's about a guy who's lost his wife, and he basically says, he has this, then one night after we had made love or something, the angels came. And this stand-up comic sat there and said, oh, I thought it was a baseball team. Why did the Angels want her dead? That's what I thought. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was funnier when I heard it the first time. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Goldsboro from 1974. Give to us, guys.
Can I tell you?
We're on www.thebillshow.net. Thebillshow.net, and press the patron button. Help us out. And
yeah, do that.
Yeah, come on.
Do that.
This right-wing clown's making more money than we are. Come on, man. Come on. Seriously. So that's true. It's true. We picked the wrong side, Randy. That's it. We could be making huge bucks.
Do you think so?
We just turned into a fascist broadcast and get evangelical groupies in here. We'd be making money hand over fist.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon. We're going to invent a religion. We'll be back with you in a while with that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just call me L. Ron Bill.
The rhythm of life.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. We'll talk. Yeah, see you next week.
Bye, Randy.
Bye-bye.
See the tree, how big it's grown, but friend, it hasn't been too long. It wasn't big. I laughed at her and she got mad. The first day that she planted it was just a twig. Then the first snow came and she ran out to brush the snow away so it wouldn't die. Came running in all excited, slipped and almost hurt herself, and I laughed till I cried. She was always young at heart, kinda dumb and kinda smart, and I loved her so. And I surprised her with a puppy, kept me up all Christmas Eve 2 years ago. And it would sure embarrass her when I came in from working late, 'cause I would know that she'd been sitting there and crying over some sad and silly late show. And honey, I miss you, and I'm being good, and I'd love to be with you if only I could.